if you don't know the context of this, if you're not a Persona fan, you don't know what's on screen right now. But yeah, the Stanley Cup Finals over. The Carolina Hurricanes defeated the Golden Knights in 6 games. If you're a hockey neutral for the series, I'd say, wow, this series low key kind of sucks, but it was a very great 5 to 6 games. Game 6 was. We're gonna talk about Game 6 later, but just a little, just a what a season it's been. I think for both the teams in the final. Um,
Yeah. I mean, John Tortorella
Definitely.
coming in.
Yeah, we'll talk about torts. Um, yeah, I just, it was just, it felt like as the game went on, for me specifically, that the reality set in, like, okay, they're not going to win this game. It's just they had too many chances and they didn't convert, and you just can't do that against the Carolina Hurricanes, which I'm glad that the Golden Knights they gave the best fight that they could out of all the teams they faced.
Yeah.
Definitely more than Ottawa, I'll tell you that for free.
No, in fairness to Ottawa, Philly was way worse. Like Philly played hard, but they were way worse. Um, After that Taylor Hall goal went in last night, I knew it was over.
Oh
Once
yeah.
they got that 1-0 lead, I knew they're going to park that bus. And my God, they just took their foot and put it on the throat of the Golden Knights that entire night. There was no room out there. It was perfectly executed Hurricanes hockey. And if we're going to win the cup, that of course that's how it's going to be. After such a
Yeah.
crazy series, after
Yeah.
all the goals. Oh, congratulations to Carter Hart. Led in less than 4 goals last night.
I
First time.
I'm gonna keep it professional, but there's a lot of things I need to say about our goaltending, not just Hart. Like there our whole goaltending issue. Like it came back to bite us in the ass in the worst way possible. But
Yeah.
we'll talk. We'll
He was
talk
really
about it
good
later.
against Colorado, and
We'll talk
then
about
it
it.
just
Colorado are a
all
bunch of
fell
frauds.
apart.
Colorado, really, like you couldn't beat this Golden Knights team. You couldn't beat this Golden Knights team. Like I would have been fine getting swept in the conference finals, but
Well, apparently they were fine with it too.
um, but
Just
yeah,
incredible scenes last night in Raleigh. I was lucky enough to
uh,
get Lenovo Center watch tickets because someone that my uncle knows, we're just like, nah, we're gonna go to Vegas instead. And
oh, I
so
got
we got their
it'd be very
seats.
funny if that was if I shook hands with the person that you knew your uncle or whatever and have me
It's a non-zero chance.
non-zero
Uh,
chance. Like, oh man,
just
um,
a whole fan base that's, whether they joined in 2019 or whether they've been there since the beginning, that whole fan base was so ready for it, and it was just like a release of emotion. All the pent-up frustration and sadness, it's gone.
uh, just before we go on talk about the series in total, there's been some news that has developed during the Stanley Cup final, and I don't think one that has kind of grabbed my attention now that the Knights have been eliminated, and it kind of directly involves them is Dylan Larkin. He's requested a trade and has so far named 3 teams that he wants to be traded to.
Like,
Um, One being the Florida Panthers, the other one being the Minnesota Wild, and number 3, Vegas. I mean, I think if Vegas won the cup, I think he wouldn't have been traded. Now it's on the table now. Like I believe Kelly McCrimmon. He's calling he's calling Iserman. He's like, hey, you want to? I can give you a second round pick for Dylan Larkin. You want to take that? Just lowballing the
it,
shit out of him. I
let
think.
me say too, I understand the frustration of Larkin of not making the playoffs to be the captain and practically just give up on the team right before because it's been a couple years now where it's like okay they could make the playoffs if everything goes right they're in a playoff spot and he had 1 goal in the last 3 months. Granted, he was hurt for some of that, but he had 1 goal in his last 3 months as they faltered again. And just to say, you know what, I'm leaving, and you have to trade me to one of the 3 best teams in hockey. If I'm Stevie Yzerman, I am keeping him there until I get a longer list. I
I
don't care
think
if you don't report. Screw
that
you,
would be
man. You're not
something.
going to Florida. You're not going to Florida.
I think I kind of feel like Minnesota is like the contender for landing Dylan Larkin because Minnesota has a lot of assets they could give up for Dylan Larkin.
They need
Um,
it bad too. They really need
they need a one
one.
C bad. You can't go in with Eriksson Ek being your one C again and then him being hurt in the second round. But definitely, I think Minnesota and Vegas. I think they're going to be the top two teams in on Larkin now, especially Vegas now that they lost the final. I think.
I think Tomas Hurdle's gone too. I think
Oh,
they're gonna
I
look to
unfortunately
replace
I
him.
do think so. I did he did kind of pick up his game as the playoffs went on. Like he scored a huge game one goal to beat the Hurricanes in game one, which we'll talk about the entire series coming up. But
Game by game.
um, definitely, it's definitely going to be interesting now that Vegas lost the Cup final, and I definitely think I will say this: whenever Vegas did lose the Cup final, which has been twice, which is insane to think about,
For a
it's been
nine-year-old franchise.
it's been to teams that like as I've thought on like I like the Hurricanes. I was a temporary Hurricanes fan since the Sharks beat the Knights in 2019. If Vegas got eliminated, I would have root for the Hurricanes to win the cup. And Washington too, Ovechkin getting his first cup against us, potentially his only cup. It kind of heals the hurt a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
mean it's good stories on the other side. You know, you're not
Yeah.
losing to Florida.
Yeah, no, we beat Florida 9-3 in our own barn.
The only
Um,
team that's been able to beat Florida the last 3 years.
Retroactively preventing the Panthers three-peat has been crazy, low key.
Yeah, thank God, thank God.
Oh,
And I was cheering for the
but
Knights in that final as well.
I know why. What happened? What happened in that conference
Why? What
final?
happened?
Why? What happened?
Again, let me go on my tangent later, and I'll break that one down for you as
But
well.
yeah, Dylan Larkin requesting a trade. I've heard rumors about Hellebuck too,
What's
potentially
going on in that
requesting a
USA
trade.
group chat? There's some tampering.
Oh man, this might be the biggest tampering period of all time, but definitely a lot of interesting stuff. Another interesting story that could potentially affect the future of the Edmonton Oilers, Mike Babcock.
There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way it's gonna happen, but the fact that it got to the point where the Oilers had to ask the PA to, hey, what's the deal with this guy? It's
So
still
embarrassing.
it's embarrassing. Like you were in talks for Bruce Cassidy and now you're on a Mike Babcock. Like just shut it down, bro. McDavid request a trade. Go to LA or something like that.
Um,
Go reunite with Ken Holland. Like
The most interesting part to me is when he left Columbus. Okay, we all thought it was because of having, asking Fantilli and Kent Johnson to look at their phones and go through their phones. Apparently, he did something else that like the NHLPA brought up a complaint. We still don't know what it is, but apparently that's the reason he resigned. Whatever did not get investigated to the point where he doesn't even want it brought back up. Like he didn't even want the investigation. He just said, "Okay, I'm out." What did this man do? What
it's
did this
something.
man do that was that bad that they're actively trying to block his hiring?
But I could just imagine if this somehow happens, like okay, Mike Babcock is the Oilers coach. He's going to go up to Connor McDavid in the locker room in front of the entire team. He's like, okay, McDavid, name the top five least harding working players. He's going to say it with his full chest. McDavid's going to call every single one of them out. Like,
That'll be the difference between
um,
him and Marner.
and then last bit, another trade request. This one coming from Edmonton again. Darnell Nurse. Um, he requested a trade, and he's only like there's only been like two teams that would like he would accept a trade to, and that's Pittsburgh and LA. So that's just interesting there.
That
Um,
does feel like something that LA would do,
oh, it's definitely
honestly. That
the
seems right up their alley.
dude. LA might be like a team that like if you see that on the upcoming schedule, you're just going like this, seeing that decor. Cool. Like you have washed Drew Doughty, Cody Ceci, potentially Darnell Nurse. The only one who's worthy of like getting decent praise is Brant Clark, and that's being a bit harsh. He's actually really good, but oh, don't they have Joel Edmondson too? I
Yeah.
think they
Yeah,
do.
just they have a playoff decor. and that's why they almost missed the playoffs.
Yeah, that playoffs for the other team. That's oh, LA's decor might be worthy of saying, okay, this is a free 2 points every night, but yeah, that's really kind of the roundup for the news NHL wise, but none bigger news than the recent Stanley Cup final.
Why? What
It's
happened?
just okay. Nah, okay, you already pulled this card on me on text
That's
messages
different. That's
earlier.
different. It's text message. I
Uh,
gotta put it on the show too.
uh, yeah, it's it's kind of weird because this is a Stanley Cup final that I've wanted for so long. Carolina, Vegas, and could, it sucks right now, but if you told me that Vegas would lose in the Stanley Cup final mid-March, like after the trade deadline, before Bruce Cassidy got fired, I would call you crazy, but I would take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose last night. Um, I think that series deserved 7 games, no matter who won it. It's just I think Vegas lied down and died last night. They just accepted it.
Yeah, yeah. And partially part of it was they didn't really have a choice. The way Carolina came out and they swarmed the puck anytime it was in the
Oh,
Vegas zone was crazy. But I think that goes to show you too the difference between a team that got, 2 weeks of rest before the conference final versus a team that's pretty much been playing consistently since April. Like I think
yeah.
they ran out of gas in the end, and they just didn't have the muster for another comeback.
And definitely not having William Karlsson, it was crushing. As soon as William Karlsson went down in game 5, I kind of knew, okay, if he's done for the series, we might as well be done too. And that
Yeah,
ended up being true. Hopefully it's not too bad that he's ready to start next season because he's one of the most important players to this current Golden Knights team. Like, and you could tell, like it was enough to get past Utah because Utah isn't as well built as the Hurricanes were, and it helped us against Anaheim, Colorado, and I think if if William Karlsson plays, I think Vegas not I don't think they would have won game 6 last night. I think it would have been closer and
they would have had a goal at the
oh yeah,
very least.
definitely.
That line was back together. They would have had a
Yeah.
goal.
Um
Um, Also for all of the talk about Marner all playoffs long. And then we got the classic game 5 and 6 Marner performance. He was invisible.
I'll say
Invisible.
this. I'll say this, and I'll talk about it a bit more once we get to game 3. He is the sole reason this series went 6 games.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely. Him and Howden.
it's only his first playoff run as a Knight. And while it sucks that he didn't show up, and I'm not putting all the blame on him. In fact, I'm putting very little blame on Mitch Marner. I think there's a lot more blame that can go around the team. And we'll get to that
Rasmus
once we
Anderson.
dude, don't get me started on Asmus Anderson, trust me. But um yeah, I'll cut him a little bit of slack. It's Marner's first playoff run, and I didn't really expect him to carry that much of a load that he did, but this run from him specifically, it's probably the best run in Golden Knights playoff history, which isn't saying a lot because he's been in the
Yeah.
playoffs 8 times. And
No, but that definitely tops Barbashev in 23 for me.
oh,
I mean,
Marcia so 2023 as well. That was an insane
oh
run.
yeah.
Yeah, insane run. Um, but there's a lot more blame that could go around, and I'll do that when I go on my tangent later. But yeah, let's break down this really incredible series if you were a neutral. I think every game had like 4.5 million viewers minimum, maybe
Yeah.
even a little bit more, which it's probably the most viewed Stanley Cup final since they switched to the ESPN TNT deal. But we'll start with game 1, and that one that if
Nikolai Ehlers, 25 seconds in. I was watching it at Moore Square Park, and I literally leapt out of my lawn chair when that went in. That felt
oh
so good. And, Well, we'll talk about how the rest of the game went, which wasn't as good. But that right there was like, oh my God, this is real. This is we're in the finals. This is a real thing that's going to happen. They're going to have a
Yeah.
chance to win the Stanley Cup. Follows that up with a second goal off a really nice play from Stahl. I think that was one where he forechecked it in, and then Ehlers just grabbed the puck and whipped
Yeah.
it by Art. Oh no, sorry, that was the breakaway, right?
Yeah.
That's where
It
he got
kind
it
of felt
behind
like
Art. Slick move.
it kind of felt like both these teams, especially the first two games, were feeling each other out
Yeah,
specifically because Shea Theodore scores that goal to make it 2-1. I was like, okay, they're back in it, I guess. And then bang bang, Carlson, Barbashev, 3-2 Vegas, and then bang, Jordan Stahl. And then like it was a shootout in game one, and
yeah.
it did end up going to the Knights off a beautiful play from Colton Sissons to Tomas Hertl, who would be kind of like he's been a polarizing player, especially the first two games of this series. Scores the huge game-winning goal. Clock runs out. Vegas
What
takes
was it? A
game one.
minute,
They're up
minute
one
30
nothing.
left.
Like three minutes left actually. So there was still a lot of time. But
And the Canes had a good chance at the end when they
yeah,
pulled the goalie, but Mitch Marner got in front of a Nikishin shot to keep that game tied.
yeah.
That was impressive too.
I think that was the good like tone setter for the series. And even though I was happy with the win at the time, I was like, this series is far from over. It was
And
far
Vegas
from over.
they had a few games like that on their run where it felt like, just goal, 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 or they came back from 3-0 against Colorado. Carolina really didn't.
Yeah.
The only game they lost in the Eastern Conference part of the playoffs, they got blown out. Like it wasn't even close. They'd never really had to come back like that. And I think once they got into a shootout, you saw the defensemen weren't really playing as well as they should. They were focusing more
Yeah.
on cheating for offense, and it cost them. And that's why Gostisbehere lost Hurdle on that play because I mean he was gassed and he was just looking up the ice, and
Yeah.
Hurdle makes them pay.
Um, yeah, like game one kind of set the tone. I had people telling me the series is over. I'm like, there's no way it's over.
It's
Like,
just started.
it just started. Game one is rarely the storytelling, or like rarely tells the story of how the series is going to go. And game two was once again kind of like a microcosm of that because bang bang, you have two goals from Brett Howden. It's 2-0 Vegas. I'll say this: if Vegas didn't have like 5 to 5 minutes of pure defensive atrocities, they would have swept the series. And I'm being so serious.
Yeah, when sitting there going into the second period, I mean, I literally posted, "Thank you, Caniacs." Like I thought it was over. I thought it was like, okay, it was a good season. And then Stan Coven is a little dog that just never stops hounding the puck. Gets a deflection, gets in. Not even a minute later, Mark Jankowski comes flying down the wing and just gives one of the prettiest goals I think I've ever seen in a Cubs final. I mean, just absolutely snipes Carter
As soon
Hart.
as I saw that goal, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way they're gonna win this game.
And then they find a way to get on the power play. Power play has been a story because of how bad it's been. And then Jordan Stahl, right in front of the net, just gets it right past Carter Hart. That's what he every time he touches the puck, he goes, oh, just get in there, deflect. That's all he has to
Yeah,
do. And
yeah.
Mark Stone with a really impressive play out in front to knock the puck down and get it in. And then back to the power play again. I forgot what the penalty was,
It
but
would delay a game by Tomas Hertl.
that's right. That's right. It was Hurdle.
Yeah,
Hurdle sitting in the box, and Fair makes a really great fake pass. And my favorite part of that play is how Ehlers jumps out of the way to kind of sell it. So Carter Hart's completely focused on what's right in front of him, gets it over to Jarvis, who just hammers it.
one
Jarvis didn't
timer.
have his best playoff, but I mean, he had a signature moment in the Stanley Cup Finals. So how
Yeah.
mad can you be?
And then speaking of signature moments, and a moment that's gonna go underrated because they lost the series is game three as we shift focus to that game. Oh man, like that first period, we're going to talk about the first period because that was what everyone was kind of expecting from this series. Just a lot of board battles, not a lot of chances, well, at least for Vegas, but Carolina just kind of controlling play, but not really a lot of shots. And I think that was kind of like the epitome of what people thought this series was going to be. And then the second period comes up, and there's already two disallowed goals for Vegas, which I thought they were okay calls. Apparently, that second one where Barbashev just ran into Frederick Anderson was a controversial call. I didn't really see it like that.
No,
Um,
I
it was
mean, their argument was that he was technically outside of the crease, but
he
you
kind
can't
of
run into the goal yet.
he kind of tickled the blue crease, so it's just kind of like whatever. But then bang, hurdle
I
on the
think
power
Freddie
play.
was hurt in that game. On one of those two goals, he got hurt.
Oh yeah,
One of those
definitely. And
disallowed ones.
it was like bang, hurdle scores on the power play, and then bang, 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 Mitch Marner hat trick in 6 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm like, there's no way this game is gonna go to
91
overtime.
mile per hour shot from outside of the circles, just
And
on like, because why not?
I do think like it's unfortunate that Vegas did lose this series because I think out of
I
everyone
disagree.
on that Knights team, okay, well I know why you disagree,
Why?
but
What happened?
nah, you're not going 2 for 2. I gotta trust me. Listen, but Marner, I do think he's gonna get a lot of hate for this series, and it's a little bit it's warranted, but I don't think he's fully deserving of the blame. I
No.
think he also just kind of ran out of gas at the end. Like he was dominant throughout this entire playoffs, even in games 5 and 6, where like he was scoring most of his goals in game 6. Like that game 6 goal against the Ducks will be the best goal in Golden Knights history, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just that hat trick, fastest ever hat trick in a Stanley Cup final, and it's at the end it's worth nothing. It's I don't know, like this.
In that game, it was almost worth nothing.
Oh
They were
yeah,
a bounce
like
away from that being completely erased.
yeah, and then Carolina they put in Brandon Bussey, and then all hell just
Makes
breaks
a
loose.
save on that penalty shot, keeps them in the
This
game.
game 3 was pretty much like the epitome of what this series was. Even though Vegas won at the end, they barely won.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like Vegas just used their last bit of gas just to win that game. And it was a really fun game, but at the end of the day, it kind of felt like that was it, considering what happened the rest of the series.
I think yeah, I think you're right. I think that was a turning point. I forget exactly who got the scoring started, but he puts one in the back of the net.
It
Then
was
Aho
Martinook.
makes that's right. Martin comes around the net at the bar. We kind of gave it like a Bronx cheer. We're like, oh, let's go. We're on the board. And then Aho makes a fantastic play, drives to the boards, Hurricanes motherfucking hockey, and then sick backhand pass to Taylor Hall, and all of a sudden it's a game. Jordan Stahl again just heaves one. Jacob Slavin shoots from the point. Jordan Stahl tips it home, and all of a sudden it's ball game. Arguable goaltender interference, but Ehlers gets shoved into the net past Hart. Stahl
It
gets the
wasn't goalie
puck in
interference.
the crease. You
It
don't think
wasn't
so?
goalie interference. No.
Because it's like you could argue that Svech might have hit his pad when he shot it in, but like it was a battle in the
I
crease.
think there was just nothing to like call there. Like there was just so much going on. It's like, okay, what's like it would have taken forever for those refs to figure out if there was goal interference or not. So I think that might as well just let it stand as a good goal. Kind of, kind of the same thing in game 2, honestly. I don't know why
Yeah.
Torts challenged that. That was a brutal challenge, and that's what led up to the game.
Tortorella kind of got
The goal had to
spanked by
go.
Brind'Amour
Oh, he
throughout
did.
the
He
series, I
definitely
thought.
did.
I thought he got outcoached really bad.
And we'll talk about Torts later too. But
Oh, Torts, don't worry. I've picked up your clothes from the hotel. I'll get them shipped out to you soon. Uh, I'm glad you left them
worst
at the Renaissance.
worst Aura gamble I have ever seen.
Yeah, well, like what is wrong with you,
Worst
man?
Aura gamble.
Jesus, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard. Like, shut up.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, game 4, strong start by Carolina. They get a goal back. Mark Stone on a nice move too. Let's be honest, it was a nice move. And
I
then
love how on the Stankoven goal that opened it, they used the lively end boards to their advantage. You know, Chatfield gets the puck down, it bounces out the I want to say Hall was there, and then he gets it over to Stank, and boom, in the back of the net. And Jackson Blake with an amazing play. Jackson Blake's not being talked about enough. You know, they kind of talk about the line altogether, but a lot of the focus is on Stan Coven, who's been the finisher, and then Taylor Hall, who's 34 years old and playing like he's 28 again.
playing like
Jackson
he's
Blake
playing under
makes
John
that.
Hines.
Yeah, yeah. Jackson Blake makes that line run, and he set the franchise record from most multi-point games in a playoff run. It was
Yeah.
seven multi-point games. He was always great in the clinching games. I mean, he scored against Montreal, scored against Philly. That line had a goal against Ottawa. Then they scored both of them last night.
Yeah.
Like what can you say? Just
Um, game and then the second period of game two, there was a pattern. It was like Carolina would outplay Vegas period one, Vegas would have their best period two, and then it was kind of leading Carolina period three most games, except maybe game one, but it wasn't really consistent. But
that
Vegas
game four
ties it.
second period was easily their worst. That was a
Oh
terrible
yeah.
period of hockey. Vegas got two really skilled goals. That was Carlson and Howden, I believe, right?
Yeah. Brett Howden, I think that was the record-breaking goal, I think.
The Fernando
Broke
Pisani of the
broke
2026 playoffs.
broke Jonathan Marchessault's franchise playoff goal record in a
Which
playoff
that's
run.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
14 goals from a guy who had 12 in the
And
regular season.
let me just double check something real quick. That's not cap friendly anymore. It's Puck GM.
You
But
don't use Puckpedia?
yeah, I do use Puck Hold on. Where is this guy's uh I'm just trying to where is it? Oh yeah, Brett Howden. He has 3 years left of his 5-year deal. 2.5 million, by the way. That's nuts.
I I remember when we found out about that deal and we were like laughing about it. We were like, why do you get 5 years? But
I
he made it worth it. What's this, year one of the deal? Year two?
year two, I think year three, or I don't know, it's about to be year three, but he's on the books for a criminal. He might have to beat his agent up, low key. That he might have to fight
Oh,
his
he's
agent.
gotta kill him. He has to kill him.
But
And then
yeah.
Seth Jarvis gets a
Oh,
puck, wins a 4-on-1 puck battle, gets it to Ehlers, who gets it to Stahl, who it
scores
just
on his stomach.
hits the green FN and just puts that thing in the back of the net. Carter Hart reaches across and can't get it. Oh
Uh,
my God. That might be the most iconic goal of this series. I can't think of one that meant the moment better. Stahl opened the scoring that night too. It was just
yeah.
incredible.
Uh, yeah, like Vegas. I will say this: there was a lady on social media, I think TikTok, who does like tarot card readings and all that. I've talked about this with you before, but she went 5 for 6 in this series, and the one game she went got wrong was game six, and that made me want to. But
Thank God. Thank God. I
yeah,
did not want to see a game seven. I'm not gonna lie.
but yeah, I was so mad at her because she said, "Oh, Carolina's win the next two games." I'm like, dude, there's no way you have to get one wrong at some point, and she did, and I'm very mad that she got one wrong. But
And then game five in Raleigh was honestly
oh,
kind of the same thing as last night. It was they come on the ice and they are not losing this game.
they
Dorofeyev
they
gets
were
one
losing at one
first.
point. They were losing
Yeah.
at one point, and then
But
they
I
weren't.
mean their mentality is just this is our fucking game and we're gonna win this.
Yeah,
Dorofeyev with a really, really nice pass to set him up, gets it up early, and then you'll never guess who, Jordan
Jordan Stahl.
Stahl
That
ties
was
the game.
that was actually a pretty that one I can't blame the goalie on too much. The
No,
rest I can.
Stahl beats McNabb in the corner, finishes his check, gets it back up in front. Nealer's just slick pass across the ice. And then, Hurricanes go on the power play, kind of a not really the best shot from Svetch. Like it didn't leave the ice, but it
Oh,
just happened to go through a Vegas defender and then Carter Hart's 5 hole. Carter Hart refusing to say no. And Andrei
Jesus.
Andrei Svechnikov, who really needed that goal. And then you get your other big dog. You get Aho.
Aho.
Really fantastic play by Martinook to just forecheck, gets it across the Gosses who gets it down. Aho kicks it off his skate onto a stick and just boom, top corner on Carter Hart. Not an easy. He made it look easy. That's not an easy goal to score. Svechnikov scores again. 360 pass from Nick Ehlers. And after the game, Ehlers was like, "Oh, that was the worst game of my life in the postseason." He still had two assists. He still set up two goals. And now, granted,
Yeah.
he loved throwing the puck over the. That game made me so mad. We took three penalties and all of them were delay a game. How does that even happen
You
in the
won in
Stanley
the
Cup?
end, though. You won in the end.
It didn't matter. Dorofeyev gets one back late, and then Bussy kind of just slams the door shut. And God, Raleigh was ready. Raleigh, I was at the Red Hat Amphitheater, and we had that thing packed out. 20,000 people in the arena. There's probably a couple thousand there. It was just incredible.
Um, I will say after that Aho goal was in, I kind of knew that was the series, or kind of felt
Yeah.
like that was the series.
Once those guys wake up, it's like,
Yeah,
what are you supposed to
and
do?
they woke up for 5 minutes and went back to sleep because their job was done. Their job was
Yeah,
done.
that's all they needed. Thank you, top line. Second line got it from here. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
and yeah, and now we move on to Game 6, which I felt a little bit more confident heading into because it was at home. You know, I I just felt like there was no way they could go out there and put the worst performance on the ice for the home crowd in the last home game of the season. Unfortunately, that's what they fucking did. Um, we'll start off with the first goal. Horrible read by Rasmus Anderson. And you gotta wonder how much money he's gonna lose in this free agency because I don't want him back on the team. I'm
I I
sorry.
I don't think they can. I really don't think they can bring him back.
You
They wanted him
can't.
for years. There's no way.
You can't. Like I said this to I was calling with a buddy last night after the games. Like this might be the worst trade in Golden Knights history. This easily, this easily is worse than the Pacioretty trade. This is easily worse than the Tatar trade. You gave up a fan favorite stay-at-home guy like Zach Whitecloud for a
He was
guy
a misfit,
who's
right?
Zach Whitecloud. No, I think he was on the inaugural season, but he wasn't like a
He
misfit.
wasn't
That
picked. He got
yeah,
traded
he was
for.
yeah.
Okay.
No, he was no, he was like he was an undrafted free agent. So he's
Oh,
by
nice.
definition he's kind of a misfit. Um, definitely it's going to be interesting at what happens with Rasmus Anderson because I saw someone like, oh, they had a handshake deal already. There's no way he's not re-signing with. Do you know who you're talking about? You're talking about the guy, the team that traded away Max Pacioretty and Dylan Cogley for fresh air. They,
That was Don Waddell's funniest work because apparently they wanted like a seventh or something, and he was like, "No, you're gonna give us these guys for free. We're doing you a favor." And it didn't really work out for either team. Max
yeah, I
Pacioretty
mean,
was a great Hurricane for 5 games, then he re-injured himself.
and
After
Dylan
injuring
Coglin
himself in
came
the summer,
back.
Dylan
Dylan
Coglin
Coglin came
sucked.
back.
He was terrible. He was terrible. He's been really good these playoffs. He was a terrible
Yeah,
Hurricane. He was
yeah,
awful.
but. Um, you can't really talk about Game 6 without talking about having William Karlsson out. Keegan Colasar being healthy scratch was kind of surprising, to be honest with you, because I thought, okay, he hasn't really had the best series, but I didn't really think he was really doing anything that bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that was just more wanting to get a spark, like wanting to get Smith
yeah,
in there.
yeah, but
I thought Bowman had a pretty good game actually.
oh,
I mean, for
Braden
someone to
Bowman
step
was
in,
arguably our best player.
yeah, he had some really good chances.
And I definitely think he's going to break the team next year. I definitely hope a guy like Trevor Connolly also breaks the team next year. I think the Knights definitely need an injection of youth, and they will get that if they don't trade any of them away, which you never know.
I don't think their bottom six was very effective throughout the series. I mean,
They were I think they were in like the beginning of the series, but once like Carolina found how to take apart Vegas, it became very less effective because I
yeah,
thought early on if Vegas could wear down Carolina to the point where it got to a long series, I think that's where Vegas had the advantage. But I think what happened was Carolina found a way to beat Vegas first
yeah.
instead of
I
vice
mean,
versa.
the Canes, in my opinion, although the finals did start a little bit shaky, they just went to another level. I mean,
Hmm.
games you can include game three in this too, but games 4 through 6, that's just a masterclass of Canes hockey. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, that's exactly what Brendan Moore preaches. They open the game. Slavin makes a fantastic play to find Hall streaking, and he beats Carter Hart again. Carter Hart giving up a goal early. Oh my God, you're telling me for the first time. Um, and from there, man, the energy in the arena was so much different. I was like I said, I was lucky enough to be at the Lenovo Center watch party.
I was
Um,
unlucky to be at T-Mobile Arena last night.
and
Uh,
just the relief in the air after that went in. And Bussy makes a fantastic save at the end of the period. They get a little bit sleepy going into the intermission. Vegas almost
yeah,
capitalizes, but Bussy finds a way across the crease. I gotta say, shout out Freddie Anderson. As
yeah,
great as Bussy was at the end of the series, he was kind of like the relief pitcher. Freddie Anderson won 13 playoff games and got us here.
he
And I
did.
thought he was okay in the conference finals, but I thought he was fantastic the first two rounds. I mean, they don't go 8-0 without stellar goaltending. And even
Yeah,
though some nights he was only facing 15 shots, he was stopping 14 or 15 of them every night.
yeah. Um, and then I think the next goal was like that was really the dagger. Like you got the Ehlers empty net at the third period, but
Just
Blake,
fantastic play by Stan Coven to keep that puck.
yeah. And it was an
They
off a turnover off of Rasmus Anderson once again. I seriously
was
hope
it
we do not keep
Anderson?
this guy. I think I remember it's like say like Anderson had the puck along the left board of Carter Hart, and then he's like trying to like out Daniels like what the hell are you doing, man?
And Stan Coven said, "Thank you."
You can't dangle around this Carolina team. They're gonna take the puck away from you one or the other. You might as well just ice the damn thing. You might as well just
Yeah,
ice it. Like
completely agree. And then
uh
Carter Hart gets a piece of it, but it's not enough. Jackson
yeah.
Blake, God, Jackson Blake is my age, and he's scoring goals like this for my team. That should be me out there, but that's okay.
You hurt your knee in the 12th grade or like
If
the
I,
seventh grade, you hurt your knee.
if I didn't tear my ACL when I was 12, that would be me for real. And Jackson Blake, man, he's slowly becoming my favorite player. Like all year, he's just been an engine. And last year he comes up to the team and is kind of a injection of youth on that third line. Gets first line minutes. Has a really good series against the Devils. Really effective against Washington. Not as much near Florida, but I don't think anybody was effective against Florida. And
Yeah.
then just his line, man. Like I thought his best series was probably against Philly, where he gets the overtime winner to end it. But he was great in Montreal. Scored some huge goals in the first round even, and then it wasn't the clincher, but to have a goal in the Stanley Cup final clinching game is so perfect. That player is signed for 8 more years, by the way. His extension is not even
Yeah.
started yet. 5 million, like 5.5 maybe, but $5.5 million for Jackson Blake. What a guy.
Yeah,
Svechnikov
definitely.
makes a great play off the face-off and cuts off Vegas's advance. Ehlers strips the puck and God, man, he shot that puck like there was Prime Brodeur in the net. He wristed that thing into the net. Find some Canes fans in the corner, and that might have been the longest minute of my life. Just
Yeah.
waiting for that clock to go down. And then the final horn goes. They rush the ice. Aho hugs Brindamore for the first embrace after winning. And God, man, I'm about to start tearing up. That
Yeah.
meant
Go ahead, man.
everything.
You deserved it. Like I'll say this as someone who kind of stopped rooting for Carolina recently.
Just
Not
not as
like
much.
not as much, yeah. I it sucked that it had to happen against the Knights, but I'm very happy for the Hurricanes. Like this has been a long time coming.
So it's one of the most ethical championships I've seen in a while. I mean, they spent 8 years just meticulously building and enforcing a certain way of play. Um, okay. All right. Do you have any more words? I'm about to go on my tangent.
Um, I definitely think we could save the tangent for later, or unless you want
Oh,
to
okay.
right
Okay.
now. Unless you want to right now,
No,
I
no, no,
gotta.
no. We can keep it on. We can
I
keep it on the
do.
game.
I do got to get. I want to make sure because we do have a giveaway to give out. I got to give out a golden stall. I got to give out a Jordan Stall jersey, which they don't have anywhere, which is nuts.
We'll,
Well,
we'll
you you
we'll find a way
you
around
could,
it. We can find like a graphic tee. I've seen a couple of those. A couple of
yeah.
Jordan Stall shirts.
Like maybe if you want to give it away to someone, like you if you want to look at the comments, I'm about to unarchive the post
Yeah.
because I did it
See if
because
anybody called the stall winner.
um if no, what if no one called the stall winner?
We can just pick a Canes fan at random or whoever
Yeah.
commented. I mean, I don't think of Vegas. Let's give it to one of the guys that called Marner.
Someone said Cook and Yemi.
Dude, dude.
But if you
But
want to go on
yeah,
your if you want to go on your tangent right now, like we could end this like segment here, I guess.
Okay.
End this
Okay.
out.
We'll keep
Uh,
it on the game for right now, and then I'll
yeah.
go on it.
Yeah, no one said stall, by
That.
the way.
Oh my God, really? I mean, he did come. He had two goals going into the finals, so we'll
Yeah.
we'll just pick one at random.
We'll talk about the Conn Smythe because I thought it was controversial, not because Marner didn't win it. That would have been hilarious, by the way. But
If he got the McDavid spot.
oh,
But
but yeah,
no,
we'll see.
man.
We'll see.
God, just watching them jump over the boards. Jackson Blake tackles Seth Jarvis, and I love this team so much. I mean, every guy on that team contributed. They were all huge at certain times this year. The majority of them had to step up and play positions that they don't normally play in. I mean, Sean Walker was on our first pair for like 50 games, and he did a pretty good job. Brandon Bussey, a waiver pickup. I didn't even know who Bussey was really before this year. Like I knew he was like an AHL guy on the Bruins. And then comes in and basically saves our season. Wins 31 regular season games, wins the three biggest games of the season to end it. And God, Jordan Stahl winning the Conn Smythe. Again, we'll have a debate about it later. I think that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I think putting him getting 6 goals in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. I know it's a playoffs award, but they basically gave him a Finals MVP award with this one, and nobody deserves it more than Jordan Stahl. I remember where I was when we traded for him because when I was a little kid, of course my favorite player was Eric, and I'm like, holy crap, we finally got his brother. This is going to be awesome. We're going to go to the playoffs. They did not. Um, and nobody has been with this team longer. Nobody deserves it more than him. And you could see it on his face when he lifted the cup. I mean, that's exactly what I thought it would look like when that madman got a hold of the cup. But that was awesome. Gives it to Freddie Anderson. Rest in peace, Claude Lemieux. I know he's still got a heavy heart. I know he's got an injured knee and all that, but he lifts that thing over his head. And he's in my opinion, the top three goaltender in Hurricanes history, maybe top two. He might have passed Archer Zerbe already. Um,
Not
you
Cam
know,
Ward though.
no, because Cam Ward had a couple of tough seasons toward the end there, but he came in and won the cup, and then he had a really good run from like 2008 to 2013. He was genuinely maybe a top 10 goalie in the league, and we haven't. Anderson's been the best goalie since though. I mean, his first season in 2021-22, if he didn't get hurt, he might have been nominated for a Vezina. He was fantastic. A couple of really good playoff runs. I remember him being great in 2023. 25, he was pretty good. And like I said before, he was great through the first 2 rounds of this one. He's been a part of some pretty hilarious meltdowns by the Canes. None worse than 2024 Game 6. We'll get to that. But God, it just made me so happy after such a long career of, he got embarrassed in Anaheim. They had to trade him. We all know what happened in Toronto. He was a part of some terrible memories there as well.
Yeah.
And then to see him find a home, and lift it in the Canes jersey. Cup, he's about to pass it to Sebastian Aho, but Aho's like, nah, give it to Halsey. Who deserves it more than Taylor Hall? I mean,
Oh
16
man,
years for a first overall pick. Went
Coyotes
terrible,
legend Taylor Hall.
terrible tenure in Edmonton. Like the way that organization was run at the time. Wins a Hart Trophy out of nowhere in New Jersey. Like you said, goes to the Coyotes. Coyotes legend. Goes to the Sabres for half a season, which nobody remembers. He put up like 2 goals in 40 games. Gets traded to Boston. I thought he was a good Bruin. He thought he found a
Yeah.
home. Then they have to get rid of him because of cap. He
Goes to
kind of
Chicago.
looks real quiet in Chicago. I mean, he was hurt most of his first year. Plays partially his second year. That's part of the Mikko Rantanen trade. And thank God, by the way, thank God something
Who
worked out
who
for
would
that
have
first year.
thought the best part of the Mikko Rantanen trade was not Mikko Rantanen, it was Taylor Hall.
Yeah. How the hell did the Hurricanes win that saga? I'm willing to say it now. They won. They won that trade
Oh yeah, no,
because
they
Logan
won.
Stankoven just skated around with the Stanley Cup after scoring what 12 goals in the
Do you think do
playoffs.
you think Rantanen's pissed?
I hope so. I hope he's crying right now, man. 'Cause look, that made me so mad. Bro, screw you. Like you a contending team trades for you. And you're like, I don't really want to live in Raleigh. I don't really want to forecheck. I don't really want to play defense. I want to go
Bro
to
did not want to eat
Dallas.
cookout. And he
No.
he needs to be slandered for that. You need to be slandered.
He's gonna get hit. God, imagine the signs when he comes back next year. Like, I mean, he was already getting booed out of the building. We got Logan's better chant. It's screw Mikko Rantanen. screw Mitch Marner because he rejected a trade to Carolina. People forget about that a lot. But he was supposed to go to Carolina in exchange for Rantanen to Toronto, and he's like, no.
There was also a three-team trade that would have sent Marner to Vegas, I think Rantanen to Toronto, and then Carolina would have gotten like Hurdle or something. There was
Yeah,
also that
and
three-team deal.
but no, Marner rejected a trade. He probably rejected it more than once too. There's no way they didn't try to trade for him after the
Yeah.
24 playoffs, 23 playoffs, whatever.
I think that was
Honestly,
also because I think the reason I think the big part was just like I'm not trying to like defend Mitch Marner
but no, his wife was
or
pregnant.
not.
That is true. Like, yeah, you don't want to get up
That
in the middle of the
that's like
season.
that's like the benefit of the doubt I'm willing to give him on those rumors. It does kind of sting a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah.
he has he's affecting a kid.
It's a screw you, but not as much of a screw you. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
I wish you were a part of this. Screw Jake Gensel. I'll say it, man. Like I know the contract negotiations were tough or whatever, but you should have been a part of this. You should have been the last piece. Had to wait 2 more years to get Ehlers, who I think put us over the edge. Ehlers and Keandre Miller. Knew they both seemed destined to be Hurricanes. Keandre Miller was fantastic. He might have been our best defenseman in the Stanley Cup run. I mean,
You
Slavin
think Rangers?
had
Do
some
you
rough
think
games.
are the Rangers fans the Maple Leafs of the United States? This is
I
just
I don't know.
extreme cuckery. Like, I seeing
Oh
former
yeah,
Rangers. Dude, imagine if JT Miller leaves the team and goes wins the cup with someone else.
he would probably come to Carolina too. They tried to trade for him from Vancouver as
Oh,
well. But yeah, a first, a second, and Scott Morrow, $7.5 million for 8 years. I remember everybody was clowning them pretty much. Like everyone was like,
I
okay,
thought
this
it
is
was
a
a
good
good
trade.
deal. I thought it was a good deal.
It was a good trade. The contract might have been a little much. They paid him a
It's
lot of
worth it
money.
now. It's worth it now.
Who gives a shit? He won a cup. He can be terrible for the next 7 years. It was still worth it. Gave up a first, a second, not even our first. Gave up Dallas's first, a second, and Scott Morrow.
The
Scott
Mika
Morrow might be
Rantanen
like a
the Mika
third.
Rantanen trade tree is going to be interesting when it fully
Oh,
develops.
yeah, because they still have the other first. They have the 2028 first, and I'm assuming that one's going to get traded at some point next season.
Yeah, you
You
guys
know,
got hella cap. You guys got hella cap.
we have $12 million in cap. We have our
One
AHL team is in
RFA.
the Calder Cup finals right now. Yeah, we have to sign the Keyshian. He'll probably get a bridge deal. I feel like
Yeah.
his agent might be smart because I mean his agent held out on even getting him here. He's not going to just roll over for an 8 year deal, but we'll see. I mean, really good rookie season, made the all rookie team, had 30 points, and then won the Stanley Cup. And
That's as good as a rookie season you could have, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I mean, welcome to America. Holy crap. It's about time. Oh God, another man I'm really happy for is Jordan Martinook. He came here for Josh Joris. Do you remember that name, Josh Joris?
It feels like it should ring a bell, but it's not for
I,
some reason.
he was like a depth player on the 2015 Blackhawks, and the Hurricanes would just take on any old Blackhawk they could get their hands on for a while there. But yeah, oh no, was it? It was either Josh Joris or Marcus Kruger. I can't remember who he got traded for, but it was like a bottom six swap with the Arizona Coyotes in the middle of May, and he has become such an important cultural piece. I mean, assistant captain. He goes on waivers at one point. No one picks him up. Then he comes back and he has that crazy series against the Devils, and he's getting a little slow out there. And I could not be happier for a guy that he's pretty well known now.
Oh,
He's
hold
a
on. I do just want to interrupt. From about
breaking
20
news.
seconds ago, Elliot Friedman, NHL to officially begin investigation of Mike Babcock's 2023 Columbus resignation.
Let's go. We're gonna find out. Let's see what this man did.
Oh
Let's
man.
see what this Mike Babcock is one of the biggest bullies in NHL history. I mean, he's just a piece of shit. Um,
Um yeah, but back to you.
God, I'm just ecstatic for everybody. Even Kotkaniemi. You know what I mean? Like he had a really not probably one of the worst contracts in team history, but guess what? It's got a Stanley Cup behind it. So who cares?
Yeah.
He was okay in his minutes this year. He did not touch the ice at all in the playoffs. How about Nick Delorier? Played one game against Ottawa. I thought he had a really good impact actually. I mean, I think he fought God, that series feels like it was ages ago, but I think he fought
Yeah.
was it Nick Cousins? He dropped the gloves with
It was
somebody,
someone.
and
Yeah.
he was like a police officer out there. He was screaming at the other bench. I loved it. I loved every. That was right after Sean Walker, sorry, Sean Walker got sucker punched.
Yeah.
And then Delorier was just on the bench losing his mind. Stanley Cup champion. Love that guy. I hope we resign him. I don't know. I
Uh,
can't remember what the deal's looking
I
like.
do want to give out shout out to someone who's already won the cup before, and I think he was the only guy on the Hurricanes who had won a cup previously, and that's William Carrier. I'm
He's
happy
solid.
for the dude.
Such a solid
He's
player.
injured a lot. He's injured a lot, but
Yeah.
when he's on the ice, he's impactful. Seth Jarvis, happy for him too. Svechnikov, like you said, I'm a Glazer. I'm a Svech Glazer. I have his jersey in my closet, which I might not look at for a few months, but it's been a, it's
This entire run
I'm
started
happy.
with Spetch. I mean, the day they
I'm
got
happy he
that
won the
lottery
cup.
luck,
Yeah,
and yeah, like Svechnikov is the first major player from the 2018 class to win it. So Kokeniemi too. Kokeniemi Cup before Brady to Chuck.
yeah.
Let's go.
I do want to add another thing about Seth Jarvis. He was also that first round pick that Toronto gave Carolina to take that Patrick Marleau deal. So in either way, no matter who won the series, there was a Leafs fans are gonna feel some pain. It's
Yeah,
not as painful now because Mitch Marner lost, which I doubt it'll be long before Marner wins a cup. I doubt it.
I think the way Vegas is sustainable and the fact that star players keep wanting to join their team, they'll probably trade for Hellebuck or something.
Hellebuck, Larkin, come here. Like
Whole team's coming there.
Jason Robertson, Dio, you got your number? Um,
They'll trade Mark Stone and instantly fill the gap with somebody else. Like that's just how
Braden
they
Bowman.
operate.
That's a but yeah, no. It's
He's the guy that they call Mini Mark Stone, right? Is that Bowman?
that's the one that we like he gets compared to Stone a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
all the core guys. I mean, they've all been there since the beginning. Slavin and
Slavin.
Otto played for Bill Peters. Come on.
Slavin's a guy who has joined a very select few in winning an Olympic gold and a Stanley Cup in the same
Second
season.
American ever to do it.
Yeah. And there was a chance for two, and there was no matter who won the series, history is going to be made one way or another.
Oh yeah,
And
because Eichel was
Eichel and
terrible.
Hanifin, we'll
Eichel,
get to him
I don't think
when I go
Hannafin
on
was that great either, but
on my
I
tangent.
liked Hannafin.
Yeah.
It sucks that we had to beat him like that, but you know,
Yeah. But
he wasn't on that 23 team, right? He got there the year after.
yeah, he was the one that like kind of shocked me before Hurdle. Before we got Hurdle,
Yeah.
like I didn't think we really needed Hanifin because like we already have
Uh,
Shea Theodore. Just like you had like we had Shea Theodore, already a great offensive puck moving defenseman. We had, and then you had Hanifin. It's like, okay, I guess we have another Shea Theodore, I guess. And then you had Rasmus Anderson. Okay, this is too much. Like you have too many cooks in the kitchen when you have the puck moving offensive defenseman. It's becoming a lot, and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
um,
They
the
they might be name
uh,
chasing a little bit too much with the way they build it.
yeah,
I That Tomas Hurdle trade, like he obviously he's had some really good runs for y'all, but I don't think that was necessary either.
it
I think
wasn't necessary, but it was very funny when it happened. It was
oh
very
God.
funny.
Yeah, just casual bomb at the end of the trade deadline with your division rival. Who cares? Sure.
Yeah. I like to think that there was like a deal made, like, okay, hey, listen, we want Tomas Shertl, but we don't want him now. But when we want that deal to happen, I'm gonna send. There's gonna be a code word, and Kelly McCrimmon just calls him and says, like, hey, I want to trade for Hurdle. He says the code word, and like Will, I think it's Will Greer right now. Will Greer, that's the GM. He's like, fuck,
God damn
just
it.
pulls
Sure.
the, yeah,
And I mean
uh,
the Sharks made out pretty well in that deal too. They got
oh
like
yeah,
what, a
no,
first round pick and a prospect. It's pretty
yeah,
solid.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, nothing more I can say. I'm I'm glad that whenever Vegas did lose the cup, it was the teams that, you know, they probably deserved it just as much, at least
Yeah.
to be there. Yeah. And I'm glad the Hurricanes won the cup finally. It had to suck to be on the losing end, and I'm never going to another elimination game, especially during a Stanley Cup game
Don't do it.
again.
Yeah, bro. You're so bold for that.
Oof.
If you don't mind
I
me
really
asking,
d
how much did that cost you to get into the building?
I'd rather not speak about that. It's unspeakable. But
Not good. We gotta keep that one down.
yeah. But it's been a insane season. Like
I mean, they finished 17th in the league and made it to the cup final. That's awesome.
that's that's insane. insanity at its finest.
John
This is why we
Tortorella
watch. This is why
with
we
a
watch the
weird.
games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could not, after that Utah series was really competitive. I really enjoyed watching that. Anaheim and Vegas, the two pretty even teams, and the pace of play dictated that. And then slowly you just saw Vegas tilting the ice. They looked unstoppable against Colorado.
Oh nah, man.
They
Like
really good first four games of the finals too. Like that's a good team.
yeah. And at the end of the day, we're not getting three, but we're still getting two banners in T-Mobile Arena. That those
Yeah.
banner spaces are filling out. Like I don't think you could be that mad about getting a banner. It's not the one you want, but hey, you got a couple more banners, and that's all you
It's
can
okay.
say.
It'll look good in Raleigh. Don't worry. At the top of the Lenny.
Oh man. But I think it's time you go. I think it's time. I'll go on my tangent. I'll go on the losing tangent first. But I just wanted
Okay.
to say,
Okay.
um, Mitch Marner, you didn't show up in five or six, but you showed up the entire run. I really can't put that much blame on you. The guys I really want to put a lot of blame on. We'll start with Jack Eichel first. He vanished.
I
Ian
call him
vanished,
nine.
or I call him nine, or Donnie Waddy vanished. Is that Culver's?
Yep. Gotta.
Ja-
Oh my God,
Yeah,
real quick. I
this is the
accidentally
worst
no
flex
call.
of all time.
I accidentally no called no showed my work today because I sent a text. I woke. Okay, I had way too much yesterday. I probably had 16 for 16 wins in terms of beer. Woke up at 7 o'clock to go puke off the side of the deck, and then I texted my boss. I was like, due to unforeseen circumstances, I'll not be able to make it in today. The fucking text didn't send. So I didn't wake up again until 10:30, and then I see him blowing up my phone. I was like, God damn it. So I apologized to him. I got a call from somebody else being like, don't do that. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I do feel bad about that. My fault, Mr. C.
Did you tell him it was about the next one?
No, no, I don't think they would have. I mean, they knew why I wasn't there. They like I've been talking about it all playoffs. They knew why. Probably the least surprising thing I didn't make it to work. But there's no way I'll sit in an office today. I've just been scrolling social media and rewatching the videos 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, they
Um.
might be a little bit mad at me, but I don't care. Canes and six. So
All right. Okay. We'll start off with nine. I'll give him this much benefit of the doubt. I definitely think he was playing hurt. That's
Mhm.
unexcusable, man. You had two goals the entire playoff run. That's inexcusable. Like you had a bunch of assists. Cool. Where are the goals? Inexcusable. I for a guy who we're about to play like we're about to pay like 13.5 million for the next 8 years. That's inexcusable. You got to score some
You
goals,
need a little
buddy.
better than that.
I swear you might have gotten outscored by Shea Theodore. That's inexcusable in terms of goals. Inexcusable. Speaking of the defense, we're going to talk about Rasmus Anderson and Noah Hannafin. If we didn't sign Hannafin to that contract, I would want him out now. Same thing with Rasmus Anderson. You're gone, buddy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let me check something. Does Hannafin have a? Please tell me he has a no trade clause.
I think
Or
Barbashead had a
doesn't have a
pretty
no.
bad series too. I mean
He
that
has a he has a he
Stone.
has a he has a no trade clause until he has a full no trade until
Oh my God.
yeah, he's a full no trade to 2030. Fucking incredible.
Hannafin is good, but why they give him like a franchise icon contract?
He's that's it. That's brutal. Hopefully he wants to waive it. Probably doesn't.
He's coming back. Bring him back to Raleigh.
Um Rasp Sanderson, there was like especially game two, I think he single-handedly played a big part in losing game two for the Knights. Um Definitely had some moments. He was pretty much a nothing player throughout the entire run until the Stanley Cup final, and then he was just negative. Um, the goaltending.
Suspect 79. Come on up.
Oh man, it was bad enough that he. How are you worse than Marc-Andre Fleury in the Stanley Cup final for the Golden Knights? Because Marc-Andre Fleury was pretty bad. What we saw from Carter Hart was not even goaltending. That was terrible. Um,
Historic levels of ass. The first
how
goalie to let up 4+ in 5 straight games.
I would have I would have seriously started Aiden Hill
I
after the
dude,
third
what did
after game
Aiden Hill
three.
do? Like, why do they hate him so much? I
So there
mean,
was I saw this from a Twitter comment, so don't take this too crazy, but apparently like after Hart got healthy and came back to the lineup, Aiden Hill went to Torts' office like, "Hey, why am I not getting games?" And then he's like, and then like apparently Torts told him like to like stick it, and apparently it's a if that's true, it's a disgrace because Aiden Hill's been our only goaltender who's won a cup, and I think if you put him in at some point, like potentially after game three, I would have been fine with that. I think at least Aiden Hill didn't give up four goals in five straight games,
yeah,
but
yeah. Christ, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard. Like you don't have a perfectly capable backup that's
yeah,
not letting in 4 goals a game.
and Aiden Hill has been the best Knights goalie as of recently, but I think you got to change up something.
Yeah,
And as good
absolutely.
as Hart has been through this playoff run, his finals performance was inexcusable too. And it didn't the team defense around in front of him wasn't that bad, but there were some goals he could have made some saves on. And he was brutal. Eichel was brutal. Hannafin and Anderson were brutal. It
Mark
just
Stone
sucks.
wasn't as
He was
impactful
okay.
as I thought he'd
He
be.
was he
He
was
had some good
okay.
goals, like individual efforts,
Yeah.
but I feel like I wasn't scared of his defense whenever they were
Yeah.
out there.
I think he kind of also just got neutralized by Carolina as
Dude,
well.
Jordan Stahl at like he bent Jack Eichel over and spanked him. Like the entire series, dude.
Yeah,
He went like
Torts.
75% in the dot or 70% in the dot. Insane.
That's just nasty. Torts. Thank you for your service, but you gotta go back to Bristol, Connecticut, buddy. Go back to ESPN.
He's got to come
That
back to Raleigh to go get a suit first, but
yeah, that too. I definitely think because I think
that's a terrible quote. It's a
what a
terrible
what a
quote.
what a horrible aura gamble. But what's it? I definitely think we'll talk about the future of the Knights coaching position sometime later, whether that be now or whenever. But
They're just gonna bring
um,
Cassidy back.
that'd be very funny,
Okay.
but I doubt it. I doubt it. I think Ryan Craig is going to be the leading candidate. I think they were grooming him in Henderson to be the next guy, but when Cassidy
It-
got fired, he's like, okay, it's too early to bring him up now. Why don't just hire Torts for a bit, have fun with it, and
I'd imagine they want to give him a full season too, like of
yeah,
training camp and all that.
yeah. So I would be shocked within like the next few days like leading up, like potentially leading up or around the draft is like, okay, we're promoting Ryan Craig to be our full time NHL head coach, and I'm interested to see how that works because he didn't really have any good rosters in Henderson until last year when they made the playoffs and won a round too. So that's something. It's going to be interesting. Probably going to be a similar system to Cassidy, so it's a system the guys are familiar with. It's going to be interesting, but Torts, it was fun. Don't ever come back here again, bro. That was a bad or gamble.
Do you think
Um,
he's done? Like, do you think he's gonna go anywhere else to coach?
I'd be shocked if he retired, but it's the NHL. Nothing, this modern NHL, nothing's really set in stone. Let's be real. Like, there's people asking about Mike Babcock. I wouldn't shock me if Torts didn't find another job sometime
It,
soon.
I feel like he might actually be a good fit in Edmonton for what they want to do.
Yeah, especially
Because they,
because like they really shouldn't have trouble getting him either. Like Cassidy
yeah, well,
or
Cassidy's being
Babcock at this
held
point.
hostage underneath T-Mobile Arena, so he's not
Yeah,
leaving anytime soon.
he's probably gonna get released soon though. I think they wanted like the focus was okay, he's under contract, we're in the final. Let's not just do that distraction right now. Let's call it whatever you want. Vegas is in their contractual rights to do that. It's probably going to be resolved soon. Who
Free
knows?
Bruce Cassidy. Free Bruce Cassidy school walkout.
Um, Last thing, I just want to say this has been a pretty weird season. Like I did not expect to end up with more wins overtime and regulation, and then more losses than wins overtime and regulation combined, and still ended up making the Stanley Cup final. Like that's just insanity. We lost. It sucks, but I have a very decent feeling that we'll be back here. The window's still open. I would be shocked if Vegas had another cup sometime soon, but it's gonna suck right now. We already have 2023. 2023
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago. It feels like it though. Fuck me.
You get, I think you buy like 7 years of, okay, you guys do whatever you want after you win a cup, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah, but
And the fact they made another
after
one,
you lose a cup, it is okay. We're close again. How do we get this right again?
people were talking like a Colorado Carolina final was imminent after the second
Oh
round.
no,
You know, like
no,
they
it wasn't.
completely disrespected the Knights
Yeah,
going into that.
and I would have been fine with Vegas got their ass beat by Colorado, but
Yeah.
Colorado frauds. Colorado are frauds.
And then they made the freaking finals, you know, like
Yeah, like
obviously it's gonna hurt for a few days, but I think every fan I've seen has appreciated the season for what it was.
oh yeah,
And they're like, okay, that
oh
was an
yeah.
incredible run.
It's definitely been one of the weirder night seasons in history in
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
short tenure history. Like not even just like the regular season. It's just you sign Carter Hart controversially. That kind of already
What
puts
happened?
like a entire. You can ask him about that.
We
Don't ask
can't get
about
into
me.
that one. We can't get into
No,
that
no,
one,
no, no, no,
unfortunately.
not yet, not yet, not yet. No, it's a little bit bigger than that, but um, definitely, it's like that kind of already put like a whole like ominous cloud over the season, and then you're not really playing great hockey through the majority of the season. You fired Bruce Cassidy with like 8 to 7 games to go. You win the division somehow off 95 points. You you go on this run, and then yeah, I would have been happy with this run, but it still just kind of feels like a letdown that they didn't win the cup.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to be a letdown when you don't win the cup. But I love this team. I will love this team until the day I crumble to dust and pass away. Indianapolis Colts, you are not on that same level, though. You are not on that same level. Um,
Now, what if Ballard gets fired?
oh, if Ballard gets fired, I'm celebrating like we just won 10 straight Super Bowls. I'm gonna be so serious. I might streak down my neighborhood low key.
Oh
That'd
yeah.
be like my Super Bowl because I'm not expecting the Colts to win one anytime soon. Let's be real. Um, let's see. But it's been a fantastic season, and the next one, who knows what's gonna bring.
The next
I
one.
just the
The
next one,
next one.
the next one. Uh, but
Also, I gotta say the fact I've seen that like going around Twitter and all that,
oh,
like
it's
it's becoming a running joke within the Canes fan base now, and I
the
could
next
not be
one.
happier.
What's your favorite coast to coast episode? The next one.
The next one.
Yeah, that should be the title. That should be the title of this episode. The next one.
The next one. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. We'll do more episodes. We're not maybe we'll do some World Cup. You want to do some World Cup? We could do some World
Yeah.
Cup. Spain just tied with Cape Verde. You see that?
Yeah.
That was
I think my
crazy.
favorite part of the World Cup has been seeing various countries take over like Boston and
Dude,
then like
I love what the Netherlands is doing, but we could talk about the Netherlands later. But I think it's
I
time. I think
shout
it's
out
time.
huge Caniac Holland, by the way.
It's time. It's time. I think it's time. It's to take the stage. It's time to victory lap.
Man, my Carolina Hurricanes, where do I even begin? Okay. I was a fan before I was born. You know, my mom and my uncle were really the ones, they're from New York. So, they're hockey fans, but they didn't really have an allegiance. They got down here, they started watching the Canes. Canes win the Cup 2005-06. We had season tickets the next year. So again, I'm 3 years old. I may be starting to form thoughts. I was raised in the RBC Center, the Lenovo Center, PNC Arena, whatever you want to call it. And I would do it all over again. I mean, seriously, every emotion I had watching that team. Going back, man, like after they won the cup, growing up, pretty much all you hear about is you hear about Rod Brindamore and Justin Williams and Eric Stahl and how awesome that was. And then I get a little taste of it 2009. They beat the Devils in game seven. They beat the Bruins in game seven. You get a taste of it, and they go up against the Sidney Crosby Penguins. And Jordan Stahl, by the way, was a monster in that series. And you're like, oh crap, my Stahl brother lost, and it's okay though. We'll be back. We'll be back. No, they lose the next season. They have a chance to make the playoffs in the last game of the season, and they lose to the 30th place Tampa Bay Lightning. My entire childhood. just miss after miss after miss. Yet I was still there making memories with them. I mean, I remember going to Atlanta in 2010 and watching them kill the Thrashers 4-0. Eric Cole had 2 goals.
Shout out the Atlanta Thrashers.
Shout out the Thrashers, man. Shout out the Southeast Division. Couldn't have done it without you guys. God, being a little kid and they're just blowing out the Islanders and we're in the arena chanting, "We want 10." One of my favorite memories with my mom, and it just became such a family thing. The 2011 All-Star game, I didn't get to go, but just the hype around the city, it just made it was just like, oh my God, this is real. We're on the national stage. People know about my Hurricanes. And it got a little dark. They trade for Jordan Staal 2012. That was exciting. That lockout season. People forget that they were leading the division going into the last month of that season, and then completely fell off the bus. Yuri Toulouse, the Alex Semin, Jordan, and Eric Staal top line was feeding families. I thought Alex Semin was going to be the next great winger, and that did not happen either. Just some really rough years, but good stories in between. Jeff Skinner coming up out of nowhere and being the exact same player every season, getting 63 points 4 times in his Hurricanes tenure exactly. Um, and then, they're bad for a bit. I honestly, in middle school, I would literally get made fun of for wearing Hurricane shirts, and it's like, guys, come on. God, even people, even my friends now who I transitioned into Hurricanes fans over the years by chipping away at it. Even I remember sitting there talking like, why aren't you a Panthers fan? Like, who cares about the Hurricanes? They suck. Blah blah blah. They're gonna
Florida,
move.
Carolina Panthers, right?
Carolina Panthers, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
because
okay,
that
okay.
that was that was the Cam Newton Panthers. So there's way more hype around them. Didn't get the championship. Guess who brought one back? Raleigh. Fuck Charlotte. Fuck Charlotte. Let me just throw that in there too. Sorry to my Charlotte Caniacs, but fuck Charlotte. Um, God, the Bill Peters era might have. The season I like really got back into it was 2017-18. Justin Williams came back, Scott Darling came back, and I was old enough at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm tracking like the contracts and I'm tracking like um, you know, Jeff Skinner had a really good run at the end of 2016-17 and damn near dragged them to the playoffs. It didn't end up working out, but I just remember like that energy in that building, even when it was half full. You could hear them on TV. You could hear how loud they wanted to be. They get Scott Darling. That's an awful year. They they get rid of Bill Peters. They hire Rod Brind'Amour as coach. And I remember like my dad saying it's like, oh, it's gonna suck when we have to fire, the greatest player in franchise history. Or it's gonna be like the most beloved player in franchise history. And then, get Dougie Hamilton in here, send out Lindholm and Hannafin. They lose that trade really badly. Get rid of Skinner for Cliff Poo. And then they make the playoffs. Um, the turning point game was December 31st, 2018 against the Flyers, where they just killed them. The Flyers were pretty good back then. It was 3-0 game. Jordan Martinook scores a wrist shot, and then the rest of that season they just don't lose. Like it's still my favorite regular season ever. Was that one where they first made the playoffs. Game 7 against Washington, I still remember that so vividly. Seeing that puck go into the corner and seeing Brock McGinn knock it in. We have to eat a poop sandwich against Boston. I mean, they get completely destroyed for 4 games. You go back next year, beat the Rangers in the qualifying round, and then Boston just beats the shit
Hey,
out of
hey,
us,
hey,
and then
hey, hey,
just
hey, real quick. I just want to say
Rangers in
something.
3.
Rangers at three. Rangers at
Rangers
three.
in 3 all
Rangers at
season.
three.
Rangers in 3, and it was like a 4 month build up to the playoff game. So everybody, so of course it got worse. Rangers fans on Twitter were crying. That was Henrik Lundqvist's last game.
Oh man.
Shout out the bubble, man. I missed bubble hockey. But yeah, then the next year they have a really good season in that weird division they're in, get absolutely smoked by the 2021 Tampa Bay Lightning. 2022, they have their most dominant regular season ever. They have Tony DeAngelo on the first pair, and he completely falls apart against the Rangers. They blow a 2-0 and a 3-2.
Shout out Kane's Tony D'Angelo. That
No,
special that first run.
no.
That was funny. That was funny.
He
That was
was look,
funny.
he was good, but people still it's still a contentious discussion amongst the Canes community. But fuck that guy. I mean, he got thrown off his last team for punching a goalie in the face, and he was good in the regular season, but he was so carried by Slavin that it made Slavin worse by proxy. That was the first really bad loss of the window, the one against the Rangers, because the other ones it's like okay, they're going to be good in a few years. They're building up. That was supposed to be a year where they at least went to the finals. They probably
Yeah.
would have lost to the Lightning in that conference finals, but they should have at least been more competitive. Tara would get blown out in game 7. And then the next year, everybody gets hurt right before the playoffs. Pacioretty tears something. Svechnikov tears his knee. Teravainen breaks his arm right before the playoffs start. I think he broke it against the Islanders. But they beat the crap out of New York and New Jersey. Take it to Florida. That game one of that conference finals, man, some of the best hockey I've ever watched. Also, my least, I still have not watched that game back in full. That Matthew Tkachuk Burns terrible turnover trying to pass it to Slavin. Tkachuk ends it with 19 seconds left before the fifth overtime. Then they lose the next game in overtime. Then they get shut out 1-0, and then they tie. They game four was the only one that was like actually exciting, and then and then they tie it and get scored on with 4 seconds left, and that's how the season
Hey, don't
ends.
worry. Hey, don't worry. We got to get
Yeah.
back. We got to get
Yeah,
back.
Vegas had to let Vegas take care of that one because we couldn't beat the eight-seeded Panthers. They go all in the next year. They finally get their guy. They get Jake Gensel. They get their guy. They bring in Kuznetsov for the vibes. Great series against the Islanders, but we always beat the Islanders. And then they go down 3-0 against the Rangers. Tried to make a little comeback and then got absolutely humiliated by Chris Kreider in Game 6. Freddie falls apart. And then you go into the next year, and they lost Shea, they lost Pesci, they lost Teravainen. Natchez almost got traded. Gensel went to Tampa. Natchez starts off the season red hot and then gets traded in the middle of the year for Mikko Rantanen. Eric Tolsky's first year, by the way, like not even 6 months into the job, trades for Mikko Rantanen. That really did not work out. Rantanen did not give a shit about being in Raleigh for a single second. I mean, he saw us dump the puck in one time and he was ready to go. He was out. You trade him to Dallas and you get a pretty fair, what everyone said was a pretty fair package given the situation. And then Logan Stankoven has a crazy 2025 playoffs. Like that's as good as he was this year. That's where it all started. That 2025 playoffs, that's where you really saw him get his confidence playing against Washington and New Jersey. And God, man, just the way they built this team and the amount of guys that have been there for the entire ride. Last year, it felt like the beginning of a new window, and they've already the window has isn't even fully open yet. Like I don't
Well, it's
think
blown
people
open now.
realize. Yeah, yeah, but they still got more time, man. Stankoven and Jarvis, not Jarvis, sorry, Stankoven and Blake combined $11.5 million, 8-year contracts that start next season. 8 years of this second line. Svechnikov's not even 30. Aho's 29. Jarvis is young. And Ehlers isn't that old. Stahl, Martin Hall, they might be on their last legs, but they already got their cup. And
Yeah.
eventually they'll get some youth in there. God, I love our defense. I love every single member of our six D right there. Slavin's been there since 2012. Makes the team in 2013, 14 is such a bright light. Him and Pesci really did save like the future outlook of the Canes. Because you have to think we had like Zach Dalpe and like Hayden Fleury before that. You know what I mean? Those were our
Hayden
prospects.
Fleury, what a name.
Screw that guy. It's nothing against him. He was big disappointment, and he got picked. Like I forgot who was it in 24. He got picked right before somebody. It might have been McAvoy. I think we picked him over McAvoy.
Ooh.
Um, and God, Jalen Chatfield, free agent from Vancouver. He didn't even make the Canucks, the 2021-22 Canucks. He couldn't even break that team. And then he comes here, he plays a couple games in relief, and we're like, oh shit, wait a minute, this guy's pretty good. He makes a full-time position, and he's playing first pair of minutes in the Stanley Cup final. Stanley Cup champion Jalen Chatfield. Keandre
Yeah.
Miller, huge trade. Sean Walker and Shane Gostisbehere were brought in as replacements for Pesci and Shea. And everybody was like, oh, great. Replace some guys half as good. No, no. They make half as much money and they're honest. Fair might be more effective than Shea was in terms of like
Yeah.
offensive defenseman. And Sean Walker has his moments, but he's a very, very solid player. And then, you got Nikishin, who's that's another guy that's just going to keep getting better. I mean, he's only 21 years old and he's already playing like a veteran on that third pair. He's just going to get better defensively. God, Brandon Bussey, Pyotr Kochetkov, Freddie Anderson, all of these guys, man. Everybody contributed. Everybody deserves it. Eric Tulsky, man, shout out. Evil genius. The NHL might have fucked up. by not letting him get away from Carolina. Because remember, he interviewed for the Pittsburgh opening, the Chicago
Ooh.
opening. I think he interviewed for the Toronto opening. Nobody took him.
Oh.
Nashville wanted him. No.
Ooh.
But no, and in his second year, he's won the Stanley Cup. And the scariest part, there was no joy on his face when he was lifting that cup, man. He expected it. He's like, yeah, I knew this was going to work.
He,
I
no,
formulated
no, no,
this.
no. You ask him what's his favorite Canes cup. He's gonna say the next one.
He's dead ass saying the next one.
Uh,
And look,
didn't
man,
Bussy say something? Like he said, like, what's your
he
favorite
was, he
playoff
was like,
moment? The next
the
one.
next win's the best win. And
He knew. He
then I
knew.
got a million tags.
He knew.
Nah, and then did you see Svechnikov call Jordan Staal a horse the next
I
game?
think I heard. Was that game five? I think so.
Yeah, he was like, he's a horse.
Man,
I'm gonna finally update that video this year, by the way. Um, but God, and look, everybody, I know not a lot of followers have gone over to coast yet, but we're getting there. And
soon,
anybody
soon.
listening that follows along with the page, thank you guys so much. I had so much fun this season. I love making my hurricane shit posts. The next one. What can I say? The next one, the next one, the next one.
Uh,
And the next ones just kept coming. And man, destroy.
it's
They said Sens in six. They said the Flyers might surprise us. They said Habs in seven. They said Knights in six. PK Subban last night was like the Knights are gonna win this cup. Like what? Shut up. Shut up.
Pernell Carl. We might have some fighting words talking about low key Pernell.
He's not allowed back in Raleigh, man. I used to love that guy. Fucking no, man. He was so annoying. Him and Messier together, man, just on that panel, sucking each other's dick the entire playoffs. I could not stand it. We love TNT though. We love TNT.
We love TNT. They have John Forsland. They don't.
And man,
Dude, John
I,
Forsland got to call another Canes Cup, like on the radio, I think.
yeah, and he was tearing up in the booth cam.
He
I
still
still haven't
loves them.
seen
He
the
still
Mike
loves them.
Maniscalco Trip Tracy one yet, but shout out Mike Maniscalco too. He's forever going to be tied to this run. His radio calls were pretty iconic, and it's just wow, 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 wow. I love this team with all my heart, and I would do the last 20 years all over again. That every moment of that was worth it. Being in that arena with 20,000 screaming fans and watching the flag go up. We, my little cousin took his shirt off in the middle of the game and it stayed off the rest of the night. And then we went outside and they were putting up the flag on the, you know what I'm talking about? How they put up the storm
Yeah, yeah,
flags on the
yeah,
side of the
yeah.
building.
I know what
Got
you're
to
talking
see number
about.
16 go up. Got really drunk on the way back to the car. Went to the club. I went hard at the club too, and then fell asleep on the way home. It's just what a night.
I was
Uh,
trying to FaceTime you last night, like, cause I know your ass wasn't asleep. It's just
my
your
my
phone
phone
died.
my phone died by the end of the third period. I had no chance.
Oh,
I had so many people blowing up my phone. It was just perfect. It was perfect. It's 16 and 3 run. How many? That's one of the most dominant things ever. I mean, they ran through the Eastern Conference. They made everybody their bitch.
oh yeah.
And they had one bad game against Montreal, and they still could have won. They almost came back in that game. It was 4-2 at one
Was
point.
Vegas's 2023 was like what 16 and 6? I
The
think it was
last
16 and
one,
6.
I want to say the Avalanche only lost 4 games in their 20 because they swept
Yeah, the
Edmonton and
Avalanche was.
Nashville.
I don't know that those playoffs were. I think those were like very weird playoffs, honestly.
It was the first that whole season was weird because it was like right after COVID and the
Yeah, the
scoring went
first
up
full
instantly.
first full COVID season back, it was weird
Yeah,
because like you had full barns with masks. Like, oh man, that was such a
yeah.
weird time in hockey.
But I do again, bro. I do the pandemic again if it meant another Canes Cup.
Shit. I don't know if I can go through seeing Anton Khudobin goalie my team again. That's brutal.
What a series.
Uh,
And look, for anyone that gives Vegas shit for like being a new franchise or whatever, they've gone through just as much pain as the rest of us at this point. Like
we
you
didn't
look
have a
at
team. We didn't have a team for so long.
yeah, and then instantly, dude, boom, 2019 game 7. They lost to the Dallas Stars in a was that game 5 overtime.
Yeah. Montreal.
Montreal series, Marc-Andre Fleury completely shits the bed. I don't 22 they missed the
Miss
playoffs entirely on like the last
yeah.
night. 23, obviously, they won the cup, but then 24, they followed up by getting beat by Dallas in round one.
That
Pretty
was just a great
disappointing.
series. That was just a great
Yeah,
series.
that was a really good. And I forgot how they lose last. Did they lose the Oilers last
Edmonton,
year?
Edmonton
Yeah.
on home
And that
ice.
was another one. That was just a straight up good series. That's
Yeah,
another thing too. Like at least it's not like Vegas is going to get embarrassed.
yeah.
Like they might have not been as
It
good the
might look
latter
it
half
might
of this
look
season,
like
but they played well.
a 6 game series isn't really that close, especially the Stanley Cup final. But it was just a great series until the
Oh
end.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the second highest rated series since 2000. That Hurricanes and Knights are box office, and I can't wait for their game next year. I might be in Vegas. I
You
might
got to
come
come
down to
down. You got to
Vegas.
come down to Vegas.
I'm bringing the cup with me.
Yo, low key. Hey, you know what? We got to lift it together. Yeah, 3 years,
Are
3 years, 3 years apart. Come on, we got to lift it together.
are they gonna jump me like Knicks fans? Is someone gonna like tear my jersey off my
No,
back?
no, no. Like there might be
I've
like
heard I
someone
heard that
might.
they were very polite to all the Canes
Oh no,
fans.
Vegas
I
fans are
heard
polite.
everybody had a good time.
Vegas fans are polite. Like
And I
you,
know I
you'll
was
see all
dogging on
those.
Vegas throughout the
Oh no,
playoffs,
dude,
and yeah,
don't
the
worry
building
about
was
it.
a little
Don't.
quiet. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you,
mean, it
but
was
I
definitely
re
quiet. It did last
Game six was
night.
quiet. Yeah, but that one's fair.
Oh yeah, like
But
that. Like I'll
I
just.
respect this fan base a lot, man. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed the Vegas fans I've interacted with. Obviously, I love you. RIP McNabb memes, man. We lost a generational poster. Um, but yeah, man,
Stay
such
tuned.
a great
That's all I
run.
gotta say. Stay tuned. Stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned. Stay tuned.
It's a butterfly.
What a
It's
run
a
for McNabb
caterpillar.
memes. What a run.
Yeah. It's a. Uh, you just gotta stay tuned because like what we've got cooking. Me, Donnie Waddy, we got some stuff cooking up, and I
Big
hope you
summer
guys
ahead.
are staying. I hope you guys are staying tuned to that. We are. We're gonna be having a live stream for the draft.
Got to learn how
That
to set that up.
Yeah, we gotta learn how to set that up. You gotta get the was it the Carolina Crazy Axe or whatever?
The crazy X,
Caniac?
yeah.
Yeah, the Crazy
They
Axe. You
said
gotta
like web OBS, whatever it's called. So maybe
OBS.
we'll be
Yeah,
good.
we gotta do like a test stream before the draft soon.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. No, it's been a fun ride. I can't wait to go on to this next chapter. I'm gonna be on the app still. Don't worry about me. I'm still gonna have a presence. You just don't know what I'm gonna turn into next. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be this podcast related. Just keep in mind that. But
It's the evolution.
yeah, we'll do a before the draft. We'll put out a season recap podcast. There was a lot that happened this season. This might
This
have
was
been
a
the
really fun NHL season. Really
oh it
great
was
product. I mean,
yeah
sure, some of the series could have been closer. Like Carolina kind of dominated the Eastern Conference, but
yeah
I mean, Tampa Buffalo was awesome. Or sorry, Tampa Montreal was awesome. Buffalo Montreal was awesome. Some really good Utah Vegas and Anaheim Vegas were really fun. Anaheim's team, that was a really good story to follow all year.
yeah
Like, there's a lot to look forward to. This was definitely a bit of the changing of the tide. Like you saw some teams kind of take a step back, and then
yeah.
here come the Sabres, here come the Canadians, here come the Sharks, here come the Ducks. And we're gonna get more of that.
I need that Sharks Knights first round series next year.
Oh my
Ooh,
God,
we
yeah.
would beat their we would beat.
I
Oh,
don't know, Macklin Celebrini. I want
oh
to see him play.
Max a dog, Max a dog,
It should have
and
been nominated for the Hart Trophy, by the way. I don't
he
know how he doesn't
if
finish
they
top
made the
three.
playoffs, he would have gotten Hart. If they made the
100%.
playoffs, yeah,
100%. His next closest teammate had like 60 points. Are you
yeah.
kidding me? He almost doubled it.
But yeah, no. This has been a very fun season. One last thing before we kind of just close the chapter on the Stanley Cup final. You mentioned this when you were going on about Jordan Staal, but they basically gave him a Finals MVP award, and which is why I consider this utter woke nonsense. I felt like it should have gone to Hall or Stankoven. It should have gone to Hall or Stankoven.
They, yeah, I mean, that second line carried the offensive
They
production. Like
basically
they were
won
the
you the cup.
offense.
They basically
Yeah.
won you the cup.
Yeah. That might have been, and this is going to be a hot take, that might have been more impressive than what the HBK line did in 2016.
Yeah,
Because the HBK, as good as they were, it kind of slowed down a little bit toward the end. Second line won. They scored the only two goals on a goalie in the cup final clinching game.
yeah,
Shout out Taylor Hall, man. What a story. And Stankoven and
yeah.
Blake they're gonna get their numbers in the rafters. Like
I
they're
get
already
it
on pace.
why they gave it to Jordan Staal. He had a historical final,
It's just
but
such a performance.
I just don't, it doesn't feel right. Okay, you could have given it to like Hall Taylor Hall probably deserved it in terms of like the broader playoffs. But
It's weird because I agree with you, and usually I agree that it should be more about the entire playoffs. I don't care, man. That's so awesome.
yeah,
37-year-old
you
Jordan
get
Stahl just won
yeah.
the Conn Smythe Trophy. That's fucking awesome.
It's probably one of the weirder Conn Smythes since Jonathan Marchessault. Well, not weird in terms of, like who won it, because I think Jordan Stahl probably deserved it, just as much as anyone else did. But in terms of like, the context of who's getting the reward award, like obviously Connor McDavid 2024, 40 something points in the playoffs, loses the cup, gets the trophy anyway.
Doesn't come
Marchessault,
out for it.
generational run for him.
The
Uh,
only
ba
under 6 foot person on that team wins the Conn Smythe.
and and I think he's like one of the first undrafted guy since Gretzky, or one of the like
Okay,
or he
so
joins that.
I hate when they call Gretzky undrafted. Like, come on, bro.
He wasn't, yeah, it technically he wasn't drafted, but at the same time it's like he was already on a team. Like
People don't talk enough about how those Oilers teams, like those are kind of fraudulent cups because they basically just poured it over a super team from the WHA and like
for
instantly just ran everybody's shit.
we're going back to history to put asterisks on cups and the coast.
You can't lift
This
the
is the
puck.
great this is the greatest podcast of all time. If you're not tuning
The,
in now, you got to tune in sooner.
this is the summer of coast to coast.
Oh man, we are going to go crazy. Like once the draft rolls around, we do our live shows. We do our live show. I don't know if you want to do day two. I definitely want to do night one.
I feel like we got to do day one at least, and then
Day one,
I
day
don't know.
two,
We'll
we'll
see
see how
what's
that
going on.
goes. Because I'm on the West Coast. That shit starts early for me. Like
Yeah.
uh but yeah, we'll do a season recap episode of like the entire season. We'll do we'll get ready. We'll do a little bit of draft preview. We got some guests for that draft show. I don't know if you know this guy. We got John Tavares coming onto that
Oh,
bit.
no
We'll
way.
try.
I didn't know that.
We'll, oh yeah, I was gonna tell you, but this is mid series, but I forgot. But he's down
That's
for
awesome.
that. Um, yeah, no, we're gonna try and get some guests. You're not gonna be hearing us for 2 hours. You're gonna be hearing from some people.
I
Uh,
just I need to learn more about these prospects, but I'm kind of just hoping that there's a trade that breaks while we're
there
on it.
probably will be. There probably will be. But yeah, no, that's it's time to put a bow on this season, bow on this Stanley Cup final. One more
Oh,
time,
what a
congratulations.
fantastic series and like seriously, what a ride from the beginning of January to now. Like watching the USA win the gold medal and then
I
you
still
get a
got that.
pretty
I still have that.
yeah, exactly. We have I don't know which one's better. I got to see a gold medal win and a Stanley Cup in the same year.
And I
That's
was
pretty.
close. I was 2 wins away. I was two
You got
wins
you got
away
a
too.
Western Conference title and you got a gold medal. Like come on.
It was I hate to sound like, because it sounds like I'm being like first world sports fan problems, because the Thunder, they were playing in the Western Conference Finals too. They lost to the Spurs in Game 7, but I was 1 win away from having both the Knights and the Thunder in the finals at the same time. They probably would have gotten
That would have been.
destroyed by the Knicks.
Oh, this was the next year. There was nothing
Oh yeah,
stopping the Knicks.
dude. But the Wemby hate watch was awesome. I do not like Wemby. It was
I'm not gonna
awesome.
lie, man. As soon as I saw him calling hits on other players on the Thunder, I was like, yeah, this is my goat. I love this guy.
No.
He's bringing back real basketball, bro. Welcome back to the 90s.
Lou Dort brought it back, and the French man stole it. But yeah, well, no, like I definitely wanted, like, I know we were talking a lot about hockey, but I definitely want to keep this like open to more sports. Like I said, considering
Yeah,
doing World Cup episodes, definitely do a little bit of college football, NFL, basketball, NBA, MLB. We're gonna
we
keep
got
it
some
open to
time to
everything.
kill.
But once hockey starts, you know where our focus is going to. Come on now. Come on now.
I'm already ready for the banner ceremony, man.
Oh man, you're gonna love it. I was at the Knights one 2023. Oh man, you got to win that home game too. Like it's
Oh
such feels like
yeah.
such a letdown when you lose the banner night.
Parade is 11 a.m. on in Raleigh. I will have boots on the ground. I'll try to get
Oh,
some
boots on the
content.
ground. Oh,
Boots on the
nice.
ground in Raleigh. I'll try to get some content while we're out there.
Yeah.
Hope I think Seth Jarvis is going to be the drunkest, but you never know. You never
You,
know. I could
who's
see
gonna
Nick
who's gonna
Deslauriers.
who's gonna have the William Carlson moment of the parade? Who do you calling now?
if someone if someone gets that drunk, it's gonna be Svetch. It's gonna be Svetch. I feel like he's just gonna let loose. I mean, he's gonna get the full. God, the hero's welcome that they're gonna get. They just landed at the airport and there are fans already lining up the sidewalk. They went to the club last night on
I
stage with
saw
DJ Pauly
Omnia.
D.
Omnia.
Bunch of Canes fans went. I received a picture at 4 a.m. of Mark Jankowski holding the club holding the cup on like a stage. I was like, that's awesome. Should
It
have been
kind
there.
of it's weird when when teams win the cup in Vegas. 'Cause Vegas won the cup. They went to I think Omnia as well, and like I think no one in there had an idea like what was going on. Like those weren't hockey fans at the club. Those were just people
That
enjoying their
video of
time.
Jack Eichel lifting the cup and it's just like crickets.
It's like those are not hockey fans. Like you're just there to
Oh no.
celebrate winning the
You're
cup.
there with a tourist.
Yeah, you got to go to like Henderson. You got to go to Green Valley Ranch. That's where all the real hockey fans are. But yeah, no, we got some very fun stuff coming up for you guys. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on McNabb memes on the 22nd. Definitely big announcement coming then. Um, but yeah, we'll see you on the season recap. And just one more thing, I do have a question for you, Ian. What's your favorite Coast to Coast episode?
The next one. Let's
All
go
right,
Canes, baby.
this is
2026 champions.
this has been the Coast to Coast podcast recap episode of the Stanley Cup Final. Hope you guys or thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for listening to me bitch my shit about the Golden Knights this series. But we'll look forward to that season recap. And yeah, any last words?
Go Canes.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.